what's going on, guys? It is GamerMan here, and welcome to another model train review. Now, this one's going to be a little bit more in-depth than my previous reviews, and today I wasn't an idiot, and I decided to put a pen to the side so that I can show off some of the details of both cars. Now, you may be asking, well, what are these? If you're new to model railroading, then you will not know what these are. If you're new to railroading at all, you will have no idea what these are. These are the Union Pacific Auxiliary Water Tenders post-2006. Now, if you've seen these tenders in a different limelight, or you've seen them look a little different in other people's videos, that is because either they have a different brand of these tenders than I do, or they could have the pre-2006 tenders, where on the side it just read Union Pacific on both tenders. But now we have the, I have to actually read the box here, we have the Jim Adams UP809, which is this tender here, and the Joe Jordan, I believe that is how it's pronounced. Joe Jordan 814 here. Now, what's really interesting is a quick side note. Their road numbers were originally FEF 484 Northerns for Union Pacific, so that's a little bit of a hidden fact. Some people knew that, some people don't know that, but I decided to share that's what I have found to be the reason for their numbers. Now, this particular one up here, the Adams, this one, it has the famous Union Pacific flag on the side of it. Now, this is also the American flag, and because it's getting close to July 4th, I figured this would be a lovely time to show off these engines. Actually, they're not engines, they're tenders. These two tenders had a history of originally being auxiliary tenders for the Union Pacific gas turbines. These two in particular were saved and were restored to operate as water tenders for 844 and 3985. They were recently, the most recent sighting of them was behind 4014. That was their most recent sighting. Now, because of the era of steam being almost completely gone, auxiliary tenders are the way for steam locomotives to not have to stop for water as much as, say, a excursion railroad or a scenic line. So these are designed exclusively to hold water, and so the engine doesn't have to make stops for water all the time. Moving to the rear tender here, the Joe Johnson, I actually don't know the full history of these tenders. I know that they were originally turbines, but I can't remember what engines they originally worked for. Anyway, these can be spotted behind the steam engines a lot on the Union Pacific lines, and if you are interested in buying excursion-style steam locomotives, such as the Union Pacific 844, 3985, and 4014, getting these is a must. Now, mine are purchased by Rivet Counter Scale Trains. And this is one of the boxes that they come in. You can see it up here, and you can kind of see my camera. And they are wonderfully detailed. They are down to the point detailed. I'm going to show off pretty much just one of these because the features are about the same, but having them both here so you can see the opposite kinds. So, the first thing that a lot of people notice is that these trucks are 3-axled and not 2-axled. They were classified as a heavyweight car. Rivet Counter has gone through the paces, and each of these little circles that you see on the wheel, they will spin because they are the roller bearings. Those are the roller bearings on the real thing. So it's actually amazing that they added that. Another thing that they added was the amazing little bits of detailing here that my camera can't pick up. It can pick, hang on, I will actually do this real quick. Oh, that's bright. My camera isn't able to pick this up, and yeah, that got bright real quick. But there are a lot of little details over here, such as the, in fact, I'm going to try and scooch the camera to show you this. There is the that is repair parts and what have you. There is actually the water glass marker right here. You can just barely see it, but it's right there. There's the two ladders, there's the headlight. A lot of this is separately applied detail, which makes it phenomenal. And if you look at the very side of the car, you can see that the flag is actually just slightly off, which means it is a completely separate entity. These couplings on the front, these little couplings right here, are so tiny. I have to be very careful with them because I can't replace these couplings. But on the other side is pretty much the exact same detailing. The flag is absolutely amazing. This flag right here is just beautiful. On top of the cars, you can see the little water hatch on both cars. You can see the toolboxes, and you can see where the water fills into the top of the tender if, say, they were filling it from one side or the other side. Another thing that I want to point out with these cars is they have a directional and operational headlight. Now, a lot of model railroaders know, especially when it comes to locomotives, that if you've got a headlight, you want it to be multi-directions. So you want it to be able to go light up correctly when it's going forward, and you want it to light up correctly when it's going backward. These have two headlights, one on each side, and a small circuit board inside the engine, inside the tender here, that runs these little headlights. It is absolutely incredible that these light up as bright as they do. Now, because of the way I run my layout most of the time, which is currently only analog or direct control, these don't actually light up as much as they would on, say, a full layout or someone who had DCC, or, digital command control. In particular, these won't light up as much for me as you'd see on a layout like that. Now, I'm going to briefly show the rear tender. So we're going to scooch the camera back, move my lighting. And you can see on the rear tender, this is the Joe Johnson. Not as much as, say, this tender up here, but there is still the beautiful armor yellow and the Union Pacific logos. And again, a lot of the same details are on here, but what's really impressive is if you look really carefully, probably at like 1080p if you can get it, you can see all of the rivet details on the side. And that is the most impressive thing to me, is the fact that they have all of the little rivets and stuff along both sides of the car. Now, if you look right in here, you can see the handbrake. And so that is really impressive. But these cars are absolutely stunning, and they're huge. Like, to understand the scale of these, they are very large. To put it in perspective, I have this sharpening rock. I'm gonna attempt to use this for scale, but I'm gonna put that right next to the engines, and you can see it's actually bigger than this little rock. Now that's not very good scale, right? That's a bit terrible. But if I was to step away, which I might actually do, I can step away and go get my smallest engine, my smallest little engine, and the scale would be different. I will probably show these off in a video coming up soon. But yeah, these are amazing. So I got these a while back from the Hobby Haven store in Urbandale, Iowa. They were not cheap. They were $94 a piece, which really racked the total. So these are not cheap to find. And they're not easy to find either. So, and probably maintaining this is going to be a living nightmare. So I hardly ever take them out of the box. In fact, the times that I do, I will only run them with Union Pacific steam. 8441 was originally going to run with these if I could get a second one to paint it in the red, white, and blue of the flag and make it the 2002. That did not happen because the engine broke down, so now I'm looking to go and actually get a replacement for 8441 and practically rebuild the engine. But this is going to be the end of the review, but coming up in reviews, I will be showing off in a more in-depth preview. I will show off the bush. I can't remember if I've showed off 4141 or not, but I will go into a more in-depth review on that. I will go into an in-depth review on my 4000 that runs with these. and I believe 806. I will do a review on that one. Now, it's a little hard for me to do reviews because I have to time it just right. So this is very difficult for me to do. But getting these done is kind of fun and interesting. It's a little bit of a breather. And yeah, next time, if I decide to do 4141, you will not see this black track. This track you will not see. Right down here, you won't see this. You'll see gray track. These tracks have probably been around since I started model railroading. So they're not the cleanest in the world, which is why you don't see me running these right now. Also, my layout is currently torn up, so a lot of the track is scattered around the place, and I'm trying to figure out how to build one without ruining it, because let's just say my floor isn't exactly on the level. But yeah, I will not be reviewing a starter set locomotive known as 4432, because that one is pretty broken up. I may do a review on 119 at some point. And I will also do a review on a dummy diesel that I have. Yes, I will do a review on a dummy that doesn't run. Maybe do a review on that. I do have a giant O-scale I can do a review on, but it's broken, so doing a review on it might not be the greatest in the world. O-scale. For the record, all of my engines are HO. I only have one O-scale and no track to run it on, so don't expect to see me running an O-scale any day now. There was an experimental video made with me running O-scale trains, and it did not work. The engine was too loud to hear me. You couldn't hear, because of where I was running it, you couldn't hear like the sounds of the engine, and so I scrapped that video. So there's a non-existent video out there. Also, the gamer team has been running on a model layout recently on a video game, Tulip Lane or Tulip Canal or whatever you want to call it. We have been using a lot of engines similar to this scale, so it's kind of, if you want to go see a video game version of engines like this, go check that out in my channel. But that's about it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed me doing this little review. I don't do these very often, and I'm going to quickly take the thumbnail. If I can. I hope I took the thumbnail. I don't know if I did or not. I'll take one more. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. If you want to see these in operation, comment down below which engine you want to see them behind, because I do have 844, I have a 4000, I have another UP steam engine, 806, which is a starter set from Bachmann, but I also have a passenger fleet, which I will do an in-depth review on the entire fleet. One car is at the time of me uploading this video, one car is currently not built, but I have roughly 6 to 7 passenger cars built right now. But if you guys like this video and you want to see more videos of model railroading, please let me know in the description down below. Someone asked me recently, what is your plans for the 8441? If I can get it to a club and they're willing to fix it, you'll see it run on the club layouts, or you'll see it run again in my home layout. But thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, also thank you for the 80 subscribers. That will be a different video in itself.